Welcome to all. COVID-19 has resulted in schools shut all over the world last year. As a result, education has moved online classes. In our YouTube channel, we are focusing the reading the English textbooks in Tamil Nadu matriculation syllabus so that students can review the subjects when they find time. We are recommending our kids and teens should learn the education from their teachers, and in-person education is extremely good for all age students since teachers know students' needs. Today, we are going to read the 10th Standard Social Science textbook, Unit State Government, Chief Minister, page number 199 to 201. Point 2 Chief Minister. In the scheme of parliamentary system of government provided by the Constitution, the governor is the nominal executive authority, and the chief minister is the real executive authority. In other words, the governor is the head of the state, while the chief minister is the head of the government. 3.2.1 The appointment of the chief minister. The chief minister is appointed by the governor of the state. The leader of the majority party, or majority group in the state legislative assembly is appointed as the chief minister. In case no party commands absolute majority in the legislative assembly, or the majority fails to elect its leader, the governor can use his power and invite the leader of the other largest party to form the ministry. He has to prove the confidence, majority support, in the legislative assembly within the period stipulated by the governor. The term of the chief minister is not fixed. He may remain as the chief minister as long as he enjoys the support of the majority of the members of the legislative assembly. He has to resign when he loses confidence of the majority in the assembly. It is understood that normally he completes 5 years term like other members in the legislative assembly. 3.2.2 Powers and functions of the chief minister. The chief minister is the real executive head of the state administration. He has the following powers and functions. Relating to the Council of Ministers. Relating to the governor. Relating to the state legislature. Other functions and powers. Relating to the Council of Ministers. As the head of the Council of Ministers, the chief minister enjoys the following functions and powers. The chief minister recommends the persons who can be appointed as ministers by governor. He allocates the portfolios among the ministers. He shuffles and reshuffles his ministry. He can ask a minister to resign or to advise the governor to dismiss him in case of difference of opinion. He presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers and influences its decisions. He can bring about the collapse of the Council of Ministers by resigning from office. He guides, directs, controls and coordinates the activities of all the ministers. Relating to the governor, the chief minister is the principal channel of communication between the governor and the Council of Ministers, and he advises the governor in relation to the appointment of the following officials. Advocate General of the State. State Election Commissioner. Chairman and members of the State Public Service Commission. Chairman and members of the State Planning Commission. Chairman and members of the State Finance Commission. Relating to state legislature. The chief minister advises the governor with regard to the summoning and proroguing the sessions of the state legislature. He announces the government policies on the floor of the House. He can introduce the bills in the Legislative Assembly. He can recommend for the dissolution of the Legislative Assembly to the governor anytime. Other function and powers. As the leader of the ruling party, the chief minister has to control the party and develop the disciplines. As the leader of the state, he has to keenly consider the demands of the different sections of the people. As the political head of the various services, he has to supervise, control and coordinate the secretaries of various departments in the state level. For smooth functioning of the state and for good center-state relations, he has to develop a rapport with the union government. 3.2.3 Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers are collectively responsible to the state legislature. All the members of the Council of Ministers must be the members of the state legislature. Those who are not the members at the time of their appointment must secure their seats in the legislature within a period of 6 months. All the ministers work as a team under the chief minister. As long as the Chief Minister is in office, the Council of Ministers will also be in power. If a no-confidence motion is passed by the Legislative Assembly, the State Ministry shall resign. Article L63 provides for a Council of Ministers to aid and advise the Governor. According to Article 163(1), there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Chief Minister at the head to aid and advise the Governor in the exercise of his functions, except in so far as he is by or under this Constitution required to exercise his functions or any of them in his discretion. Other provisions relating to ministers. Article 164(1) holds that the Chief Minister shall be appointed by the Governor, and the other ministers shall be appointed by the Governor on the advice of the Chief Minister, and the ministers shall hold office during the pleasure of the Governor. Article 164(1)(a) states that the total number of ministers, including the Chief Minister, in the Council of Ministers in a state shall not exceed 15% of the total number of members of the Legislative Assembly. The functions and powers of the Council of Ministers. It formulates and decides the policies of the state and implements them effectively. It decides the legislative programs of the Legislative Assembly and sponsors all important bills. It controls the financial policy and decides the tax structure for the public welfare of the state. It chalks out programs and schemes for the socio-economic changes so that the state makes headway in various interrelated fields. It makes the important appointments of the heads of departments. It discusses and takes efforts on the dispute with other states. It advises the Governor on the appointment of judges of the subordinate courts. It frames the proposal for incurring expenditure out of state reserves. It decides all the bills, whether ordinary bills or money bills, to be introduced in the Legislative Assembly. Each minister of the Council of Ministers supervises, controls and coordinates the department concerned. Annual financial statement, called as the budget, is finalized by the Council of Ministers. Thank you for all. In our next video, we will post the 10th Standard Social Science, Unit 3, State Government, about the state legislature.